One way that the government always does it is to go and investigate people around her, and that's what they're doing here.
I'm a private investigator. I've got some books that says Super Mayor. Inside I have from the United States District Court, Northern District.
Fine. Now let's dive in. Has a mayor ever behaved in a way reminiscent of a reality TV character? Star, get comfortable, because Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton and the supervisor of Thornton Township, has been making news lately for all the wrong reasons. That's why it's the kind of story that people won't believe, which would make you question, how is she genuinely able to get away with this?
This administration is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
Look at this Henyard, where a community leader who should be in charge of keeping everything in order appears to be acting like the queen of chaos. You could think that all of this was quite difficult, although it's really just another reality show. Her path through the town of Dolton has been uneventful, going from the first female mayor of Dolton to the township supervisor. However, she is not only overseeing one office, she has also obtained two valuable. Her lack of competence is indicative of leadership posts, which come with a lot of responsibility. It's time to discuss the details. Tiffany Henyard is dealing with multiple problems at once. No, this goes much beyond what we are discussing. There have been concerns from time to time, legal actions with the Board of Trustees, in addition to the participation of a number of well-known researchers. She has everything that makes a movie a hit. Embezzlement, extravagant squandering, and disruptive behavior during village meetings are just a few of the accusations leveled against her. Top surface.
He's not employed by us. So you have got just this giant...
In order to provide you with an idea, Henyard and the Dolton Board of Trustees are at odds with each other quite a bit. A Cook County court recently had to step in because they have been in conflict with one another over almost everything, including money matters involving expensive purchases. Come in and give her a restraining order with a slap. Oh my goodness. Considering that she attempted to appoint a new village attorney, a chief of police, and a local administrator without. She kind of assumed that since the court would not let it, she could handle these significant issues on her own. Remember that you have the authority to appoint officials to retain their jobs, which will enrage the judge because she required the board's consent for these nominations. Like though you were having fun on your own playground.
Last month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval.
At this point, the case gets even more interesting, as if she's trying to put things right. Or perhaps she went out and hired investigator and former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to find out more. You're correct. Why does Dolton feature Lori Lightfoot, a former mayor of one of the largest cities in America, as a detective? Due to the local board's grave worries regarding Henyard's management of an analysis of public funds, we are discussing millions of dollars, and Lightfoot has demonstrated a financial abyss in the past. Not included in the village's general fund, there are rumors circulating that Henyard is spending money on a lot of dubious items, like lavish gatherings and eye-catching items.
Make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon. And the main thing is, what is it?
Actually started the process. Let's take a closer look at one of those famous board sessions. It has become so hectic that several trustees have refused to go. They're not actually to blame for these interactions. It's only that they're worried about their safety and yours. Seem to have deteriorated and become chaotic. It is claimed that anyone who enters Henyard will be destroyed by her yelling wars. How, in one meeting, she attempted to impose judgments without even verifying that there were sufficient trustees present to formally discuss boldness, and when she was reprimanded for it. Let's just pretend that she took it with stride. I'm grateful.
But those invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making sure the right.
Every day, it seems like there's a new and shocking revelation regarding the Lightfoot's probe. Revelation. Luxury is what we are discussing. Buys ostentatious meals and even an extravagant party that is rumored to have cost over $100,000, in addition to everything else at a time when the hamlet is in debt to the maximum extent possible. According to reports, Henyard invested in an amazingly high number of Amazon transactions. She presents herself as though she manages the town's finances on a daily basis. Credit card, and do you know who will answer? Indeed, the tab, the people who pay taxes.
What I think is interesting about this case, this story, is you can be highly legal and unethical at the same time.
Because Henyard is producing problems for them when she isn't working on it. The Board of Trustees has made an effort to put a halt to her reckless spending. She has responded to their advances with nothing, but she even blocked a move once, allowing the board to look into her spending practices with an outside probe. I would think that she would want to clear her record, but it seems like she's getting away with it. To confront her,
no, when we go through our board packets, it's like, some of this stuff, it's like you don't know exactly what it's for, and then when you ask.
But in one very bold adjustment, you might want to reevaluate if you believe Kenner's reaction is usually there. And with that, she attempted to block access to her own essential village software. Community Administrator Keith Freeman predicted the pandemonium that resulted once he started working with her opponents, with crucial community operations almost coming to an end. According to she has even asked trustees to defy the court's ruling, claiming that Bert Audon is the only lawyer available. The trustees saw how ridiculous that was, saying that rather than genuinely exercising control over her unrelenting hold, Henyard seems more eager to sow discord. Now that the town has been evacuated amid even more chaos, everyone is curious as to how far she is willing to go in order to carry on the discussion.
Judge today declining to hold her in contempt, but did warn her that if she did not follow the ruling, he would.
In addition, Dolton citizens are starting to recognize that the trustees have had enough. During a very heated argument, one of the residents honestly said they would not be happy. Before she quits, there's every cause for people to be furious. Ultimately, this municipality is having financial difficulties, but instead of taking it personally, the residents are ignoring the mayor's diatribe about lavish parties and privileges. However, Henyard isn't backing down. Quite the contrary, in fact. Nevertheless, she once even appointed. A mayor would temporarily select someone who would be assumed to take her place if she was unable to carry out her duties. She seems to be preparing for a confrontation of some kind. Makes sense. People are calling her the super mayor, but not in a positive sense. It seems she has made a name for herself as untouchable, and she is currently posing a challenge to anyone who tries to abduct her. Down.
I think you should pay everybody. Is it a reason why you guys are not paying whatever that vendor is?
What was it for?
It was for shirts. That's what it's for.
This leads us calls into question a broader matter. Is this solely a Dolan problem, or is it a component of something greater? There seems to be a pattern here. Henyard is hardly the only person who has come under fire for doing contentious things in Illinois politics. Here with particular leaders who are charged of careless financial handling, unnecessary spending, and think of working for the public as a side gig. People know that stealing happens. Given the fact that many of these individuals are Black suburban town officials, it almost seems as though a double standard is being applied. Yes, these leaders are wanted by the public, but at what cost?
As is the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor and people's supervisor.
Not only that, but Henyard and Black women are being singled out by other critics. It is a common argument made by politicians to shield themselves from criticism. This is an opinion that has been expressed, albeit it is contentious. Henyard, for example, has failed to, while there are others who argue that she is just unable to rein in her assertive leadership style, she has even gone so far as to claim that she intimidates others. Authority, however, is it truly the case? Or is this something else entirely, just a handy pretext? An additional example would be Kamala Harris. Her criticism has been leveled quite a bit. Others contend that she has a thing for Henyard and is able to deflect criticism by using her position as a Black woman in politics. It's a touchy matter that raises several concerns concerning how we maintain a subset of lawmakers holds leaders responsible. If they are abusing their position to avoid proper criticism, what does it say about the community they are meant to be a part of?
Those officers to be on the street fighting crime, and instead we have several officers that are riding around
Instead of focusing solely on Henyard, the story of Dolton now encompasses an entire system, appears to be failing. Not everyone is addressing the concerns. However, Dolton is now the most well-known example. That being said, how quick-witted, carefree leaders can be found in many more places. The usage of public cash is a dismal affair. Notion, leading some to question whether genuine change is still possible. She is struggling mightily to maintain her position, and she has been effective in doing so. She hasn't given any indications that she will be leaving. She obviously isn't leaving. People are finding it more difficult to recognize her sincerity with each new scandal, despite the fact that she says she is the greatest person to govern Dolton, and that she thinks this without resistance. Not everyone agrees with her detractors, who contend that she simply doesn't realize that she is a fearless leader who isn't scared to make changes. When they witness a leader who lacks initiative and prioritizes her own career over genuinely serving the people she was elected to lead.
Absolutely not guilty of all 9 counts. I believe he's cooperating. And if you cooperate, you have to admit your guilt first.
Thus, this drama is not limited to that. Henyard has more than simply an abrasive personality. She is controversial with certain others as well. She is recognized as the pioneer woman. While some regard Lady Dolton as a cautionary story, others view her as a representation of advancement. Evidence that not every person who dismantles obstacles is cut out to be a leader. And because of the focus on her, she seems to have become a lightning rod for every annoyance. Public opinion on politics in general, she stands for a system that men feel is paying for letting them down. How much it will end up costing, it is impossible to avoid thinking about the future. Pertains to Henyard as well as Dolton. The court cases, the investigations, and the public uproar, everything's getting ready for. Things, and if that is dramatic or not a drop in popularity or an unexpected reappearance without a doubt, we have not. This is the final Tiffany Henyard. Story that keeps taking unanticipated turns and twists that no one could have predicted. So if you're looking for, there will inevitably be a political drama with all eyes on Dolton as long as Henyard is in control. There will soon be more fireworks. So how do you think Henyard was a leader who was misunderstood? What is said about the entire saga? And are her detractors correct? Or is she truly so irresponsible and self-centered? She's just trying to create a ruckus. Political climate in the area, so kindly express your opinions.